coaches shared varying perspectives on the rate of transition of Jamaica's best junior athletes to the senior ranks. It was the theme of the 2025 Howard Harris Memorial Lecture themed transitioning of athletes from the junior to the senior level. There have long been discussions about whether Jamaica's best junior athletes are not transitioning to outstanding senior athletes at a high enough level. Founding coach of MVP Track Club, Stephen Francis, who has conditioned a number of Jamaica's most outstanding athletes, disagrees with that sentiment.
Without a doubt, the better you are at 18 and 19 years old, is the less likely you are to make big jumps as you grow older. Because a fact of life is that at 18, women stop growing. And men, they have a couple of years of relatively slow growth until they get to 21. Most of this growth, most of this improvement that they saw between while they're at school was fueled primarily by the fact that they were growing rapidly. And so it is not a very, very true indicator or a certain indicator that you're going to be good, that you're a top-class athlete, simply by the fact that you performed well at 19.
Coach Maurice Wilson, founder of the GC Foster-based Sprintec Club, and Akil Stewart, founder and head coach of Swept Track Club, shared their views on the phenomenon, while former outstanding junior athlete Dwayne Extall, who was one of the panelists, added a different perspective.
We have burnout, which is mental. After a while, as Stephen mentioned, going into the sun to train every day, being forced to train like a professional 5-6 days a week, and they become demotivated. You have also overtraining, which is physical. There are issues in terms of the muscles. There's a symptom known as green stick fracture, where when you're younger, you're able to, your muscles, your ligaments more flexible, and you're able to recover faster from injuries. So all of this happens because of trying to meet the expectations of the general population. So when persons go to champs and they quarrel about the athletes aren't running fast enough and the performances last year were actually contributing to some of what Stephen would have mentioned.
Let's look a little bit on this position in terms of an athlete moving from where they were in the beginning. And then, say for instance, an athlete moving from the country coming into Kingston. That's a whole different ball game. Athletes start to make decisions on their own, different peers, different training environment, and all the little things that they would have been getting support from their family and their friends. They are now making decisions on their own. And some of them, the new environment which they are thrust into, they are not used to it. The decisions that they are now making becomes a little bit wayward. So in terms of the transition, they now are not doing as good as they would have liked to.
I think back to 2007, a cohort of 32 athletes, roundabout, we went to the World Youth Games at the time in Czech Republic. Of that team, only 2 athletes have represented Jamaica at the senior level. 3, Nikhil Ashmead, Hansa Parchment, Natoya Gould. So the group of us, I mean, we sit down sometimes and we talk, and they share their experiences. Hansel especially, he wasn't one of the outstanding athletes at high school, but because he didn't have to face the rigors of the schools that chase championships, he has so much more in reserve.